Yo, what is up, guys? Almighty D's is back again for another crazy story. And this week, let's just get right into the story. So I was in 11th grade at the time. No, 10th grade. Sorry, 10th grade. 16 years old. And we walked into chemistry class, and I walked into class with my friend. We'll call him Jamal. He was a black guy. I'll come into it later. He was one of my black friends. But and Jamal, like I don't know if y'all know what Truck Fit is, but it's like a clothing brand by Lil Wayne. It was like nice clothes. I liked it too. But so we sit down in class, and our other friend, we'll call him Philip, walks into class, and first thing he points out, he's like, "Damn, Jamal, I like that shirt. Isn't that shirt like $60?" And was like, like flicking his shirt, like touching his shirt and shit. He's like, "Damn, how you get that money?" He's like, "Your mama been working on the corner. You been selling crack. You been selling weed. How's selling drugs working out for you?" Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention we had a substitute this day. Like we walked in class, there was a substitute. We sit down, and Philip saying all that crazy shit to Jamal. And like 5 minutes into class, like he does not shut up about it. Like when there's a sub in class, you usually don't have that much work. It's probably just like a worksheet or something. So they give us a worksheet, and like my friend would not shut the fuck up about Jamal and like how he sells drugs or whatever. And Jamal sat in front of me, and it was like road seating, and Jamal sat in front of me, I sat in the middle, and Philip sat in the back. So it was like, I was in between them talking. I wasn't egging it on. I wasn't talking about it. I was just sitting there in class. And then like the substitute teacher hears it, and she's like, "All right." Like he just kept saying shit, and she was like, "All right, that's it. I'm calling the office." So she gets on the phone, calls the office. She's like, "Yeah, I got 3 students here talking about they're selling drugs. I think they got some drugs on them. Y'all might want to come here and check it out." And I like freak out because at this point I had a pipe on me, like a little homemade pipe. Like I was 16 years old, big pothead, and we weren't old enough to buy our own like Rellos, like cigarellos or rolling papers, because none of us were 18, and it was hard to find like an 18-year-old who would want to do that for us. So usually we like smoked out some like homemade contraptions. So I had a little homemade contraption in my backpack, and so I'm freaking out, and I'm like, yo, wait, what? No, I wasn't talking about it. It was just them two. It was just them two. And she's like, "I'm gonna make sure they search your backpack, because now you're scared. I know you're hiding something." And so at this point, I'm freaking the fuck out. And so I tell my friend that's behind me, Philip, I'm like, "Yo, dude, look, I got a pipe in my backpack, man. You gotta go distract the teacher, and I gotta go throw this shit away. Like, please, man." Like, I was begging him. He's like, "All right, I'll go try to talk to her. I'll keep her busy." I was like, "All right, I'm gonna throw it." Because, like, I wanted to go throw the pipe away in the trash. But, like, I couldn't do it if the substitute was right there, and she thought I had drugs in my backpack. So Philip went up there to talk to her. He's like, "No, we were just kidding around. It's just because he had some nice clothing on, and he's black. Like, we were just joking around, like, having some fun." Like, but she for real thought, I don't think she even for real thought that he was really selling drugs, or we really had drugs in our backpack. I think she was just doing it to be a bitch. But anyways, so I get like out a little white piece of paper, like, why'd I say white? Notebook piece of paper, and I wrap up the pipe in it, and it was like some 007 Splinter shit. So I'm like, "Yo, dude, Jamal, go up there too and go try to talk to her." So he gets up, and he literally knocks something over like on her desk, a textbook, and she gets up, and like she's so focused on everybody else, I just throw my pipe into the trash can, and I go up to like the pencil sharpener to sharpen my pencil. And at that point, she's like, "No, y'all get out, get out my classroom, y'all causing a huge disturbance." So I'm like, I was just sharpening my pencil, like, and I guess no one in the classroom saw me or didn't care to snitch on me, but they're like, "Get out, just get out." So we get our backpacks, and as soon as we're about to head out, the school officer gets to the door. Like I said earlier in one of my episodes, there was a school officer there, and it was the same school officer that arrested me 2 times during school before. So like he kind of knew I was a little troublemaker. So he's like, "All right, y'all come with me." So we follow him. He's like, "Come into the freshman computer lab," which was like right down I was about to say right down the street, right down the hallway. It wasn't that far away, and there wasn't no one in there. So we go into the computer lab. He's like, "All right, guys." He's like, "Put your backpacks on the table and turn around." So he like pats us down, like, and half-ass, man. He was not really looking for anything. I think he was just doing it to make the substitute happy. But he pats us down. None of us have anything in any of our pockets. I don't think we even had a wallet. Like, we weren't even old enough to have a wallet. But where was I? Oh yeah. So then he starts searching our backpacks. First he searched my friend what's his name? Philip, his backpack, and he's looking through it, and he can't find anything. Philip was a normal guy. Then he searches my friend Jamal's backpack, and he's like looking through it, but it's so half-assed. Like if we would have put drugs in our binder, like he wouldn't have found it. Like he literally didn't look through everything. He was just like searching the pockets. And I remember he found some pills in my friend Jamal's fucking thing, but he was on the football team, and he's like, "What are these?" He's like, "Oh, they're just some Advil or Aleve," and he like opened them up. And I think they really were. I don't think he was like getting high or anything. But then he gets to my backpack. And my thing is, like, when I was in high school, I was a little stoner kid. Always brought snacks with me. Always. I had, like, Butterfingers, Three Musketeers, a Snickers bar, maybe a Kit Kat. Like, a whole bunch of candy. And I always kept it in this, like, one pocket. But I also never threw away my trash. I'd always just stick my trash in the same pocket. And it was also the same pocket that I kept my pipe in. So, like, he's opening, like, he's looking through it. And then he opens the thing with all the like little snacks I kept in there, and then the smell of weed just like comes out of it. Like it really strongly smelled like weed, like a used pipe. But he said, "What's in here?" I was like, it's just a bunch of trash from food." He's like, "No, I smell marijuana in here." And at this point, our principal walks in there, and he's like, "So what happened here?" And he told him, he told him what we did in classroom. And he's like, "But tell me what this smells like." And the principal smells this. He's like, "Kind of smells like some rotten food, like some skunk." I don't know. Maybe the principal never smelled weed. I don't know. But the officer, like, I guess he was an officer before he worked, like a real, like, patrolling officer before he worked at the school. But he's like, "No, this smells like marijuana." So he's like digging through it, like taking out a bunch of, and it's because that's where my pipe was. And he's like digging through it, like taking out all these freaking wrappers, and like even like half-eaten like candy bars and stuff, and like some of it was even rotting, man. It was kind of nasty. Then he pulls out this bag that I kept sunflower seeds in. You know how like sunflower seeds have like salt on them or whatever. He opens this. He's like, "What is this? This cocaine?" And I remember I just started laughing, and like my other two friends are laughing. They're like, "Well, y'all think this is a joke? I could take y'all all to juvie like I took him 2 other times." And then they looked at me, and like I was kind of mad. I was like, "Yeah, you really got to point out that you arrested me before." I don't know. It's pretty stupid. I was like, "No, that's from sunflower seeds." And I was like, and then I remember I made a smart ass comment. I was like, "Isn't cocaine white? That would be some really shitty cocaine. You really think I'd buy that shitty of cocaine?" I remember saying that to the officer, and he looked at me, and he was like, "Put all that trash in the trash can." So and he made me like rummage through it myself. He's like, "Shake that wrapper," and I like had to like make sure there was nothing in the wrapper, and I threw it all in the trash, and I closed it up. And so I remember then the principal made a joke saying like, I don't think you should be really worried about drugs, but you should really be worried about all the candy you eat. You might die of high cholesterol before any drugs." And the officer was like getting mad, and he's like, I remember he made me close it up, and he was done searching us, and he's like, I forgot what he said, man. He was like, "I know what you're doing. I know that you're a bad kid." He's like, "You got away today, but you won't get away." I don't know what he said, but it was like around that terms, like, "All right, you're free to go. Just try to stay out of trouble." Or, he knew what was up. He knew I was a stoner. He arrested me 2 other times. He knew I was a bad kid. He knew that my backpack smelled like weed, but he had to let me go because you can't get someone in trouble for smelling like weed with no evidence. It was a fucking crazy ass thing. And I remember when we were walking back to class, like we walked back into the same class because it only took them about 30 minutes. Each class was like an hour and 15 minutes. We walked back into class, and I I remember I walked in, I'm like, free at last. And then the sub was like looking at us, "What? You're back in here?" I was like, "Yeah." The officer just took the drugs and it was all done with. And then my friend James was like, "No, they didn't find anything on us. We're so sorry." Like, I don't know, man. It was a fucking crazy ass thing. But yeah, that was the story, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Subscribe for more. Like if you liked it. Dislike if you're a hater. this has been Almighty Jesus, and I'm out of here.